You're right there. Me again. Um, basically, I found a interesting book in my local library recently. Um, yeah, and I took some notes. I mean, you're not. It's not one of those takeaway books because it's quite old. You're not allowed to borrow it. Reference book. That's the term. So, but I took some notes and I've typed the notes up. It's quite a good book. I think you'll enjoy it. Basically, it's called the Text of the Hyradans, okay, and apparently it's the holy book of this ancient sect called the Hyradans. Um, they were an ancient tribe. Uh, I'm not sure where actually. I can't remember because I mean I was like skim reading it. I'm going to go back and look at it some more later, but I mean not today. I'm busy, but I mean And yeah, so I started reading the book. It's quite interesting. Basically, it's like this guy, Dr. Alan Boor, in the 1860s. He like translated this text, the text of the Hyradans, and he put like his notes and stuff in this book. And this book is a reprint from the 1930s. So yeah, I mean, it's not the book. Excuse me. The book is not divided up into different books, chapters and verses like the Quran and Bible are. According to the foreword by Dr. Alan Boor, the Hyradans did this so that followers would be forced to remember the whole text from beginning to end and wouldn't be able to take bits out of context. So, they wouldn't be able to remember this book of the holy text and then sort of cast the rest aside. They'd have to remember the whole thing in context. So, it's quite interesting. Anyway, there's a bit near the beginning of the book that I'm about to read you. There's various gods in the Hyradan mythology, and the god who made mankind is called Asru. And he made man in a certain way, to certain sort of specifications. And near the beginning of the book, there's like... Yeah, I've got a quote here. It says, and all variances from that design are born of the wicked sinfulness and ill intentions of man. Those that so sin shall be punished accordingly. And basically, there's different sins against the original design of Asru, and what punishments you should give to those people who sin in that way. Oh God, sorry. So yeah, I just want to read you this bit because it's really great. This at the beginning, it's Asru speaking. And whosoever shall find one amongst you who doth favour the left hand over the right shall be brought before the elders of the tribe, and have that wicked limb hewn off. And Sasha, more fearless than any other child of the world whom Asru had created, asked after Asru, "But why should you wish such an action, my lord?" And Asru, delighted at the courage of Sasha, did not cast him into damnation that day for his question, but instead laughed, and said unto Sasha, "The right hand is the seat of all goodness, and the left of all bad. And the one who forsake his right hand in favour of his left hath given into the sin of the giant Baldock. For did I not create the right hand first and make it holy, so that the servants of Baldock might be known to me? One time a man called Taj came to me, desiring to bury his knife in my back, and I cast at him an apple, and he caught it with his left hand, and thus I knew whose servant he was, and I hewed him down." Tasha, being impressed by Asru's wisdom, spake, "But how shall I know the wicked servants of Baldock?" And Asru spake once more unto him, and said, "Listen to me, my child." And Asru blew into Tasha's left ear, and cast out the filth that lurked therein, that had put a cloth over Tasha's ears. And Tasha smiled at the Lord, and knew, and although he said not, both he and the Lord Asru knew that he had understood, and had heard, and that the wicked servants of the giant Baldock will be known by whichever hand they do grasp their sword, to cleave the beast of the field, or the man on the field of war, or his wife when she doth misspeak against him, or touch his sacred regions when he doth cleanse his body for prayer or pleasure. And Asru spake once more unto Sasha, and said, "Hew off their sinful left hand, and so they shall be forced to use the other. And in using the other they shall grow closer to me, and I shall wax in strength, and the giant Baldock shall ever shrink, until he is but the size of a man, and as when he shall be smitten into the ground, as does the child smite the ant, or the man unthinkingly smite his child." And the Lord Asru gave unto Sasha a golden apple, and the apple was called Urchsan. And the apple would be eaten by Sasha, and by the will of Asru grow back each morning to be eaten again. Each morn to be eaten again. And with this apple did Sasha most righteously test the convictions and loyalties of those who he came into contact with, by casting true the apple as Asru once had cast it. So, interesting stuff. If you want to hear more from them, I've got a few more notes that I haven't typed up, and the library's not far from me, so I can go back and get some more notes. I don't know if there's anything about it in Google. I haven't checked, but yeah, cool.